Barcelona reopens the file on Arnold. Despite Real Madrid's progress, Deco met with Alexander Arnold's representative, his brother, as the Liverpool player's transfer to Real Madrid approaches. Barcelona's interest in the player dates back several years. Despite all signs pointing towards his move to the White Club, the Catalan club has tried to explore the opportunity. Journalist C.K. Rodriguez confirmed on the program there have been meetings both recently and years ago to assess the possibility of Alexander Arnold joining Barcelona. He added that the English right-back met several times with Barcelona's sporting management. The sports editor for SER Catalunya explained that the player was part of Barcelona's interest during the era of Xavi Hernandez and Jordi Cruyff, where meetings were already held to try and sign him. An unexpected comment from Osasuna's coach after the Barcelona match. In the press conference held after the match between Osasuna and Barcelona in La Liga, coach Vicente Moreno spoke about the game but didn't limit himself to discussing its details. Instead, he went on extensively about Barcelona's strength this season, praising the team's performance under German coach Hans Flick. Moreno spoke for hours about the progress Barcelona has made and the difficulty of facing them, confirming that the team is a strong contender for all the trophies they are competing for this season. He also specifically mentioned young star Lamine Yamal, calling him an unprecedented football miracle given what he's showing, despite his young age. Huge praise for Barcelona and their amazing performance. This season, Moreno began his comments on the match by saying, "First of all, I want to say that Barcelona this season is an unbelievable team. We've all seen their tremendous growth under Hans Flick and how they've turned into an unstoppable football machine. Barcelona today is not just a strong team. It's the most complete team in Europe. They have solid defense, a creative midfield, and a terrifying attack capable of tearing apart any defense in the world. I think anyone who has followed Barcelona this season knows very well that we're facing a team that is a strong contender to win all the trophies they're in." He continued, "I've faced many big teams in my coaching career, but what I saw from Barcelona today was completely different. I saw a team with a clear identity, controlling the game from the first whistle to the last, and not giving their opponents any chance to catch their breath. When you play against Barcelona this season, you need a real miracle to get a positive result against them." Then, with excitement, he added, "Simeone considers changing his plan with Alvarez due to the Barcelona match in the Copa del Rey semi-final. After returning from the last 3 international commitments with the Argentina national team, Diego Simeone, the coach of Atletico Madrid, had become accustomed to giving Julian Alvarez a rest at the start of the following La Liga match. With the team preparing for their match against Espanyol next Saturday, questions arise as to whether Simeone will repeat this approach, especially given the difficult situation the team finds itself in after consecutive defeats against Getafe and Barcelona. Alvarez, Atletico's top scorer this season with 23 goals, returns to Madrid after playing with Argentina against Uruguay and Brazil, where he started both matches and scored 1 goal. Typically, his call-up to the national team has resulted in his exclusion from the starting lineup for the next match with his club, as happened in September, October, and November. Alvarez was the only player, whether starting or coming on as a substitute, who played in all 44 of Atletico's matches this season under Simeone. He started 35 games and is close to reaching 3,000 minutes of play, with 5 assists and a contribution of 32.2% of his team's goals this season, either as a forward or a provider. Since the last international break, he has started 22 of Atletico's 26 matches, playing all 90 minutes in 8 of them. The former Manchester City star scored 16 of his 23 goals this season during this period. Among the last 16 matches, he only came on as a substitute in 1-0 against Athletic Bilbao, where he entered in the 59th minute and scored the winning goal in the 66th. The decision about starting Alvarez against Espanyol may be complicated, considering the importance of the upcoming match against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey semi-final return leg, scheduled for next Wednesday. With nearly 3,000 minutes played this season, Simeone's view on managing Alvarez's workload will be a key factor in his choices for the upcoming matches. Barcelona is playing in a unique way this season. They don't rely only on possession. They have the ability to diversify their style depending on the course of the game. They can impose a high press when they want to, and they can slow down the tempo when necessary. They have an incredible ability to transition quickly from defense to attack, and this is one of their main features that make facing them a nightmare for any team. Moreno confirms that Barcelona is no longer just a strong team domestically, but is also a team feared by everyone in Europe. When you watch the UEFA Champions League matches, you see how everyone views Barcelona. They're not just a strong team, but they've become a terrifying team for their opponents. The teams that face them know it's going to be very difficult. In my opinion, Barcelona this season is stronger than any time since the Pep Guardiola era. Facing Barcelona under Flick's leadership is the toughest challenge. Moreno then discussed the difficulty of facing Barcelona this season, saying, "I think any coach in the world would agree with me that facing Barcelona under Hans Flick's leadership is one of the toughest challenges any team can face. They combine German tactical discipline with Spanish technical skills, which makes them a team that's hard to beat." He added, "We studied Barcelona carefully before the match and tried to find ways to limit their danger, but the truth is, no matter how much you plan, things are completely different when you face them on the field. The pressure they put on their opponents is unbelievable, and the way their players move off the ball makes it nearly impossible to control them." He continued, "The way Flick works is clear to everyone. He's a coach who knows how to make his team play in an organized and precise way, but at the same time he allows his players to be creative. This tactical flexibility makes Barcelona a team that's hard to predict. They can change the pace of the game at any moment, and can score goals from any situation, making facing them an exhausting experience for any opponent. Lamine Yamal, an incredible football miracle." Moreno then turned to discuss the young player Lamine Yamal and showed his admiration for the level the player is showing despite his young age. "Honestly, I can't find the words to describe what Lamine Yamal is doing. We're talking about a player who's only 16 years old, but he plays as if he has 10 years of experience on the field. He's not afraid of anything. He plays with an unnatural confidence, and he makes everything seem easy on the pitch." He added, shaking his head in admiration, "When you see a player this young, you expect him to be nervous in big games, but Yamal knows no fear. He enters the game with great confidence, demands the ball in the toughest situations, and dribbles past experienced defenders effortlessly. This is something we don't see often in football, and I think the whole world is now talking about this unique talent." He then continued, "Not only are his individual skills remarkable, but also his tactical intelligence. He knows when to attack, when to pass, and when to hold on to the ball. These are things we don't usually find in young players. He's an exceptional talent, and if he continues to develop like this, I'm sure he'll be one of the best players in the world in the coming years." Barcelona is capable of winning all titles this season. At the end of his comments, Moreno emphasized that Barcelona is capable of winning all titles this season, saying, "When you look at this team, you can't help but see a champion team. They have everything: brilliant players, a genius coach, fighting spirit, and great harmony between the players. All these factors make them strong contenders to win La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the UEFA Champions League." He added, "I think any team that faces Barcelona in the Champions League this season will suffer greatly. They have all the qualities any team needs to be the champion of Europe. They have speed, skill, experience, and a great desire to win. If they continue at this level, I don't see any team being able to stop them." He then ended his comments with a warning to Barcelona's rivals. "If you're a coach of any team facing Barcelona this season, you better be ready for a huge struggle. This team doesn't give you any chance to catch your breath, and if you make one mistake against them, they'll punish you immediately. That's why I think Barcelona is the most frightening team in Europe right now." With these words, Vicente Moreno concluded his press conference, leaving a clear impression that Barcelona this season is not just a strong team, but an exceptional one with all the ingredients to reclaim its European glory and dominate football in the coming years. Liverpool prepares a fantastical offer to sign Isak, and Barcelona withdraws from the race. According to media reports, Liverpool is fully prepared to offer a huge sum to sign Alexander Isak, the forward for Newcastle United, denying Barcelona the opportunity to secure his services. Barcelona had shown interest in signing the player to strengthen their squad in the near future, but Liverpool believes the player will suit the playing style of Arne Slot and does not want to miss the chance to sign him. Reports indicate that Liverpool is preparing to make an offer worth €180 million to secure Isak's services, and in this case, Barcelona will withdraw from the race due to its financial crisis. The 25-year-old player is the focus of several top European clubs, including Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, as well as Paris Saint-Germain, who is also interested in signing him. Liverpool prepares €180 million, and Paris tries to snatch him. RMC Sport previously reported that Paris Saint-Germain is willing to offer Gonzalo Ramos, Randall Kolo Muani, and Marco Asensio in a swap deal to bring Isak to Paris, in addition to extra fees. British media reports state that Newcastle has set his price at €180 million, which would make it the most expensive deal in Liverpool's history, surpassing the £85 million the club paid to sign Darwin Núñez in 2022. What has Alexander Isak delivered for Newcastle United? This season, the Swedish international has scored 23 goals in all competitions and contributed to Newcastle United's victory